Welcome into another Carolina Inside the Lines. I'm Tommy Ashley. That's Grace Nugent, always sponsored by Johnny T-Shirt. You hear the noise. That means there's more baseball to be played in Boshamer Stadium tomorrow after Carolina demolishes the Arizona Wildcats here on a hot, steamy Friday afternoon. Grace, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, 18 runs. Arizona had no shot.
No, none. I mean, Big 12 doesn't even cover the run deficit for this game. It's one of those things where you're sitting in the press box and you go, again? Someone is popping out with stats of this is the most runs since this is the most hits since that. And you're like, wow. I mean, this offense fired on all cylinders. The head coach for Arizona, Coach Hale, did say that near the end they were putting in arms that maybe weren't at their best, that hadn't pitched in a while, which you could see from the stats. They're trying to save some for tomorrow. But other than that, I mean, the Tar Heels jumped on it in the first inning, which seems to be something that they do regularly when they win big games like this. They did it twice against Oklahoma, and they did it with 5 runs, which really gave Jake Knapp, who didn't have his best stuff, some run protection today. He did go 7 innings, allowed 9 hits, which I believe is a season high, but only 2 runs to score, walked none, and I mean, even though it wasn't his best start, he still set the tone, and this offense just kept rolling.
Yeah, he kept the top 3 in check for Arizona, and like he said in the postgame, sort of set the tone. The bottom half of the lineup for Arizona did a little bit of damage, but let's talk about that first inning. I mean, Carolina comes out, they touch Jake Knapp for a run, I think surprises everybody, and then Carolina comes up and puts that 5 spot with Hunter Stokely putting one in the net over here in front of Karen Shelton Stadium. This team, this offense, we've talked about it all year. If they get rolling top to bottom, they're difficult to deal with. But it starts with Kepler. I think the hit by pitch right out of the gate for North Carolina's offense, that really set the Arizona pitchers on edge, and we saw the result.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kane sets the tone every single time he comes up to bat, it seems. He had his 3rd homer today. He also had a triple, which looks like Forbes maybe could have sent him with his speed.
I think he scores.
Who knows? I think so too. But Kane sets the tone, and then it seems like what stood out for me is not just that they scored that much in the first inning, but they kept doing it. Mm-hmm. They kept scoring. They kept putting up crooked numbers, and they just kept Arizona on the ropes, which gives the pitching staff a lot of padding to work with. It gives Jake the ability to breathe, and the fact that, okay, I didn't maybe have my best start, but that's okay. I'm still 14-0. I still put up 7 innings of only 2-run ball, which it's crazy to say by Jake standards. That's not great. And then Tom Chmielewski comes in after him, and he delivers 2 innings. One of them, which I think had one of the most underrated plays of the game. It was 1-pitch double play, a ball lined probably upwards of 3-digit exit velo to Vanderbrake, who catches it, flips it to Stokely. 2 guys out. I don't really think I've seen a first pitch double play like that. Really something else. But this defense just keeps showing up as well. And as much as the offense demoralizes the opponent with those huge crooked numbers, this defense has been executing. And when this defense executes, it's really hard to beat this team. They had a double play in the 2nd off Brendan Summerhill, who is the top in that lineup. He is the number 19 overall MLB draft prospect. For reference, Luke is 20, and he's the highest Tar Heel on that list. And Madera, Vanderbrake, Stokely, classic 6-4-3. It was a tough one. I believe Jake said that when the ball got to Madera, he didn't think they would be able to get 2, and they got 2 with, I believe, the bases loaded in that situation.
Absolutely.
And that was huge. That took the wind out of Arizona's sails, and UNC took those sails and sailed it all to an 18-2 victory.
Yeah, it was not close here in Boshamer Stadium, but a great point by the head coach of Arizona in the postgame. It's just one game, and the runs do not carry over. And I know a lot of people say, save your runs for the next game. The North Carolina offense can put up runs, but the issue for Arizona is going to be silencing that lineup with a handful of righties. I've made a big deal about this all week, is Arizona is loaded with righties. They have 3 left-handed pitchers that combine for 21 2/3 innings on the season. We saw the most effective one, or the one they used the most, in Orlov today, and he got battered around as well. North Carolina's offense against Arizona's pitching staff is going to be the key again tomorrow, and Jason DeCaro is going to have to bring it.
Yes, Jake said it in the post-game press conference that Jason is going to have to make his pitches, because when you miss with this team, they didn't hit any homers today, and they hit like a high, I think it was a program high 15 in the Eugene regional. So this team has explosive power. We saw the bottom of the lineup be able to find success against the ACC pitcher of the year. So Jason will have to be precise. He will have to make his pitches. And then this lineup also will have to keep producing. We saw it in the Oklahoma game where they went from production to almost no production, and then to production again. So they're going to need to have that production. They're going to need to hit behind Jason. If there's one thing that this coaching staff does well, there are many, but one of the greatest ones is prepare.
Yes.
And Coach Wiersbicki has had these guys, when he has this much time, he has so much time to prepare. So whoever they are starting tomorrow, I can guess, but I'm not completely sure, Weirs will have a great scout on that to beat the shift and get those runs, get those guys on base, and then Coach Gaines also will have time to make some tweaks and some adjustments in more to Jason's pitching style that goes to his strengths when they come into the game tomorrow.
Yeah, you know it's a good day for North Carolina's offense when Gavin Gallagher's not on the press box or the press conference DS after going 4 for 5, and the only catch or the only non-hit he had was an outstanding catch by Aaron Walton right before he robbed Hunter Stokely of another home run. There was some good baseball played today. It didn't look that way when you look at a box score. You see a blowout, but Arizona's got some talent. They'll come back tomorrow. Let me give some folks some advice. If you're coming to Boshamer Stadium tomorrow and you were not here today, drink up. And I don't mean refreshments. I mean water, Gatorade, Powerade, whatever you do. People were dropping like flies here in the concourse area due to the heat. It's not a dry heat like it is in Arizona. Arizona had a pitcher throwing up out there. It got to them as well. Come prepared for a hot and sunny day. Grace, what should we expect tomorrow?
I think we should expect some sort of similar fireworks. Do I think that the score is going to be like this? No, I do not. Could that be possible? Yes, it could. And I think that with who Forbes had to pitch today, he only put up 2 guys, every single person besides Jake and probably Chewy in that pen will be ready to go. And he said yesterday that he'd be looking at this game like an elimination game. He'd treat it like an elimination game. And tomorrow is the clinch game. So I think that we could see, unless it gets to a certain point, like it did that in that Sunday Oklahoma game, which he's talked to us about, with the score, if the Tar Heels are leading going into some of those final innings, you can see a lot of different pitchers come out of that pen to make sure that UNC gets that win, because they're 1 win away. They can basically smell it. So they just need to, keep producing like they have, playing their own game, not let the moment be too big, to use one of my favorite Scott Forbisms, to be where your feet are going into tomorrow's game.
Yeah, so make sure your feet are in Boshamer Stadium tomorrow. Carolina at noon on Saturday, looking for a trip to the College World Series.
A return trip to
the College World Series. Maybe a return trip for Grace Nugent in the College World Series, and a first-time trip for yours truly. Stay tuned Inside Carolina. Adam Smith, Jim Hawkins photographs, everybody behind the scenes doing the work. It's hot, it's work, but it's baseball here in Boshamer Stadium. Baseball in June in Boshamer. Can't beat it so far for the Tar Heels.